Greetings, family, and welcome to another edition of Black Talk Radio, where black media matters and black life definitely matters. Unfortunately, this video posted Sunday, July 8th, 2018, is of a grandmother who was on oxygen. She dies after PSE&G cuts off her power, the grieving family claims. Let's take a look at this story and show you another aspect of how, in Trump's administration, we supposedly are making America great. Well, family, a 68-year-old Newark woman in hospice care who depended on oxygen to survive died last week after PSE&G turned off her electric because of an overdue bill, her grieving family said on Sunday. Linda Daniels was in her Shepherd Avenue home with her family for hours after her oxygen tank, powered by electricity and air conditioning, stopped working about 10 a.m. on Thursday. She died at 4:23 p.m. of heart failure, her family said. Linda Daniels, may she rest in peace. According to AccuWeather.com, the temperature in Newark was in the 90s on Thursday afternoon. She was trying to catch her breath. She was gasping for air, said her granddaughter, Mia, 28. Quote, she suffered and she passed right in front of us. She was gasping until the time she died, unquote. Family, I know you hear this. This is so evil in so many ways. And do you know that we will get some white creatures come on into our comment section talking about how they should have paid their bill? They have not an ounce of humanity in their bodies, much less a soul, to understand why this would anger any one of us. They have not an iota of an idea. Yet they will claim that they are Christians, and half of you will go off and sleep with them and think nothing of it. But I digress. It says Daniel's daughter, Desiree Washington, said family members called PSE&G throughout the day, pleading with them to turn the power back on. So it wasn't like the family wasn't trying to get this resolved. They were calling throughout the day. Quote, she had just paid $500 2 days before, Desiree said. Quote, and she's a senior. We asked them, why are you turning off her electric at the pole? Linda Daniels suffered from congestive heart failure and depended on her oxygen tank to survive, they said. Quote, we made numerous calls. We have a large family, and everyone in our family was calling, Desiree said. They told us they would be rolling a truck. The truck did not come until the next day. So in essence, those white people on the other end of the phone were just saying niceties on the telephone just to make them feel good. Because after all, they were only talking on the other end of a line. You didn't have to look them in the face or look them in the eyes and see if they were lying to you. No, instead, they told you what they felt you needed to hear to make you feel good about the situation. That, quote, a truck would be rolling. They never said when. But I digress. Mia said at one point the PSE&G operator told her to stop calling. Quote, they started getting nasty after a while, telling us they had too many tickets out on this, she said. So ain't that something? These devils is sitting there telling them to stop calling, even though it was an emergency. What, should they have called the police on PSE&G? Called the police on the executives? Maybe that's something they should have thought of, was to call the police. But then again, maybe they would have ended up dead. Pfft, we can't win for losing, can we? But I digress. It says, Desiree said she applied ice packs to her mother's sides, and was fanning her throughout the day. Paramedics were called to the home during the day and gave Linda oxygen from a portable tank, according to Desiree. We panicked. They cut the power off on what had to be the hottest day of the summer, she said. PSE&G said in a statement on Sunday that service to Daniel's home was disconnected, quote, due to lack of payment over several months. Quote, as part of our policy, PSE&G had notified this customer numerous times that their account was in arrears and that they would be scheduled for service termination unless the account was made current, said Jim Namioka, a company spokesman. Namioka said the family had not notified the utility company about medical issues until after the service had been disconnected. Quote, we are reviewing our records to determine what transpired. We encourage customers who have medical issues to contact us so that we can note their circumstances on their accounts, Namioka said. Desiree, however, says family members and hospice workers in the past had informed the utility company in writing of Linda Daniels' medical issues. So you see, family, now you start hearing the lies. You start hearing the lies and the half-truths and those who speak with forked tongues that, again, you choose to sleep with. You choose to marry. You choose to believe everything that comes out of their mouths. But I digress. Quote, the point is they turned her lights off after she paid the bill, unquote, Desiree said. And she's a senior, and there are a lot of people like her, unquote. The family denies Linda Daniels was behind on her bill. They provided NJ Advanced Media with a statement showing $500 was paid to PSE&G on July 3rd, 2 days before the electric was turned off for non-payment. So right away, you can hear the negligence. This sounds like a lawsuit. This sounds like a major lawsuit, if you ask me. Major lawsuit. White people are always using shenanigans to get out of being responsible for what they do. I'm not saying that this company, this electric company, PSE&G, is necessarily a white company, but you can best believe that it is ran by some Europeans. This company is negligent for what has happened to this mother, this grandmother, this great-grandmother, this human being. They are negligent for what has happened to her. It says, Desiree said the PSE&G utility truck did not arrive until Friday morning, about 16 hours after her mother died. So they didn't even show up until 16 hours after she died. And this is, meanwhile, they had already been calling and warning them and telling them the condition of their mother. So despite the fact that whether they had called the company and had in writing how her medical condition was, the fact that they had been calling the whole day in an emergency in dire need of them to turn the electricity back on, they had plenty of time to make this right. But 16 hours later is when they decide to show up to make it right. Like I said, smells like a lawsuit. The power went back on around 8:30 a.m. Friday, the family said. Quote, "We are horrified. We are angry," Desiree said. Quote, "My mother was a taxpayer for 46 years. It's so sad she had to go like that, and I don't want it to happen to anyone else," unquote. In addition to a son and daughter, Linda Daniels leaves behind 5 grandchildren and 7 great-grandchildren, her family said. Again, Miss Linda Daniels, may you rest in peace, and God bless your soul. This is Guru at Black Talk Radio. Thanks a lot for watching. Again, a sad story. Peace out.